Hi, and welcome to VanLifeFishing.com. I want to take just a few brief moments to talk about choosing a van and deciding on a van floor plan. Now, I'm relatively new to this, just like a lot of you are. But I've just noticed the same questions over and over again, and I do have some answers, I think, and I don't know if I can help or not. But I want to say this as I sit here in my van, not completed. When it comes to choosing your van, the one thing that I think everyone should keep in mind, regardless of the cost, that is an obvious element of your choice, but what is the purpose of your van? What do you want to use it for? An example would be if you plan to travel the entire United States, put in 20,000 miles or so a year on the road, you might not want to choose one of the older classic vans. If, on the other hand, your travel is going to be more limited and the cost of repairs is not as big a influence, then maybe an older van, a classic van, would be great for you. That would be awesome. Let me tell you why I chose what I chose. I looked at a lot of vans, old ones and newer ones. To start with, let's talk about the purpose of this van. I'm not moving out of my house to move into a van just for the fun of it. I'm not doing so to save money. I'm not doing so to be a rebel. I'm doing so because I want to go from bass tournament to bass tournament fishing all year long. Van life fishing. So fishing is the driving force behind this van. I want to be on the road doing tournament fishing from January into November. So that's a lot of time. If I'm going to be on the road that long, there really is no need for me to have a house to come back to for a month and a half or 2 months at the end of the year. That's probably not common sense to have that. So I am going to sell my home. I am moving into a van. So what did I need in a van that I can live in and pull a bass boat from all around the country all year? Among other things, I needed towing ability. I needed the ability to tow, but also need the ability to launch a boat. Initially, I looked at the Class C conversions with the bed over the cab. I like them. They don't have quite as much storage as I would like to have, but they're very comfortable. The problem is almost none of the newer ones are under 24 feet. If you try to launch a 21-foot boat using a 24-foot camper on some of the very small, tight launch ramps that we have to use, it's extremely difficult and in some cases nearly impossible. So that eliminated those vans. Not only that, they were kind of expensive. So that dropped me down to a normal van. Well, I really wasn't too excited about an older van because if I'm going to drive more than 20,000 miles a year, which I will, reliability is an issue for me. Now, I'm retired and I have a fixed income, not big, but I have one to cover daily living expenses and a van payment. I can do that. Now, I'm going to need some sponsorship when it comes to fishing, but I can handle a payment. So a payment is not the issue. Reliability was the issue. So that really brought me down to 3 vans: Sprinter, Transit, ProMaster. Sprinter was kind of out of my price range, and they're narrow, and they're rear-wheel drive. Transit was probably more affordable, also rear-wheel drive and narrow. The Ram is front-wheel drive, which I like. It actually lowers the entire thing a little bit, makes it easier to get it out of. And it's a little bit wider. So initially, having looked at a lot of van videos and conversion videos, I was going to put a bed across the back, just like most everybody else does. Decided not to do that, and if you've seen the walkthroughs on this van, the construction so far, the build so far, then you know that already. And if not, I'll explain it in a minute. At any rate, I ended up with the ProMaster 2500 high roof van, 159, not extended. I'd like to have the extended out there, but it's the same issue as with the Class C RVs. I really thought it might be just a little too long. Don't know, because among other things, I'm probably going to have to add a generator on the back of it, and I'll explain that too. So, weight. This thing carries a lot of weight. It will tow, even with, after I build it out, it'll still be able to tow 5,000 pounds, and the boat that I will be pulling won't be that, be well under that, because I'm going to use an aluminum boat. It's newer, more reliable. It's tall enough for me to get in. Okay, so that's the van. Now let's talk a little bit about the layout. First off, some things that I don't want in my van. One of the things that I admire so much in so many of the really higher end, well thought out, and even some of the not so high end vans, is the fact that some of the spaces can be reconfigured to multiple uses. That's nice. It's probably not me. Among other things, fishing on a competitive basis doesn't always leave a lot of time for leisurely moving things around, changing things from this configuration to that configuration. I wanted a van that was as little hassle as possible. Now again, I admire those other ones. The thought that goes into them, the different things that you can do with them. If I were just living in a van to drive around the country and visit places and spend a lot of time at one place, things of that nature, I probably would be more interested in a van that I would call an origami van. You can change them. You can fold them up and unfold them. I needed a van that was less hassle, more hassle-free. So that had a big influence on my design. Another thing that I did not want, and again, you got to study these things pretty long before you decide what you want and don't want. I really didn't like a bathroom in the kitchen. Now, if you put the bed across the back, I see no way to avoid having a bathroom in the kitchen. Now, it's probably nothing wrong with it. It just isn't what I wanted. And I don't see any way around it if you put that bed across the back. One thing that influenced the design was when I realized I'm only me. I don't need a big bed. I spent a lot of time on Navy submarines, and those beds are really small, okay? So a lot smaller than a twin bed. So I took a look at numbers, and somehow or other, looking at designs, I realized that a twin bed, a twin XL in my case, because it's nice to have the extra room, and a 24-inch shower pan, regardless of its length, 24-inch wide shower pan, will fit exactly between the wheel wells. Just exactly. There is no room for error. You got a 1-inch panel in the middle, the wall, and that's it. A 5mm piece of plywood on either end of it. So it fits exactly in there. So I managed to get a twin XL bed down the passenger side from the back, and a 24 by 40 shower, which is a big shower for an RV, for a conversion van, large. I won't have to move anything out of it to take a shower. I can stand in it and take a shower, and I will. And by utilizing the space over the wheel well, I also managed to put in a sink, which will have a mirror, etc. It worked out really good back there for me. I moved it a little bit forward to take advantage, to take it all the way to the front of the wheel well, and that left me what I call a vertical garage in the back, some room to put hanging things, all my hoses, wet, rain gear for fishing, things of that nature will all fit back there. One of the things I don't like laundromats. I don't know if anybody really likes them, but I really don't like them. I grew up with them when I was a child. I guess maybe that's where my memories and my dislike comes from, but I don't like them. And so I decided I wanted a washer dryer in the van. Well, I've got one. Yeah, I got a Splendide ventless washer dryer. Ventless because now I don't have to put it on an outside wall. I have freedom of placement. I've placed it under the bed. It's centered gravity-wise in the van. I don't want propane. It's a hassle. Remember, hassle-free. So I'm putting in 600 amp hours of battery. But I also won't be having solar. Remember, the point of this van, the original design was to tow a bass boat from tournament to tournament. Every day that you fish a bass boat, you have to plug that puppy in and recharge the trolling motor batteries. So that means that either I have to have shore power or I have to have a generator. So solar power is of little use to me. Nothing against it. I think it's great. It just doesn't fit the function of this van. Its function is to tow a bass boat from tournament to tournament. So I'll either be in a campground where there's shore power, or I will have a generator on the back and be able to charge the house batteries and the batteries in the boat from the generator. So no solar power. I don't like one burner stoves. I took a hard look. I cook a lot. I'm single. My wife passed away a few years ago. And even before she passed away, I cooked a lot. And an average meal for me uses 2 pots or pans. Some more, some less. So I wanted a 2-burner stove. Well, as it works out, the design that I built, I can't quite fit a 2-burner stove in the countertop. So it's one of the things that I will have to put away and take out, and I don't like that either, but I couldn't find a way to get around it. Okay, so the kitchen counter will have a sink, and everything else on it will be removable. I wanted water. I'll have 33 gallons of water. I'll have the solar battery. What else didn't I want in a van? Let's see. There's some things I didn't want. I have some notes over here somewhere. I'm going to have to cut some of this out. Move on to some of the things I did want. I wanted a desk to work at. We managed to work one of those in here. I want an inordinate amount of storage. I have that. The full shower. I have that. I think I've covered a lot of it already, but all those things influence my design. One thing I don't have in this van is a lot of space. There's not a lot of open space. I would love to have had a lounge chair. Couldn't quite figure it out. So I did get a fully adjustable twin XL bed, which actually configures itself very much like a lounge chair. And that will allow an old guy like me to be able to get his feet up from time to time and relax and watch a little TV at the foot of the bed. So we will have that in here as well. So I don't know if any of these things are helpful to you all when you're trying to design a van. You know, most of the vans I see are a very large open space with some storage. And if you're a minimalist, that's great. I have been that way, and now I want my luxuries. I want my coffee pot in the morning. I want my Instant Pot. I want my smoothie maker, my blender. I want all these kind of things. Basically, I want everything that's in my house in my van. Now, obviously, you can't get all of it in here, but a lot of it's going to fit, and a lot of it is already fitting. So your van design should match its purpose. Your van choice should match its purpose. If it doesn't, if you just run out and buy a van because you want a van and you throw some things in there, you may be not doing van life for very long. And it may be you. I don't know. It's not me. I'm spending a lot of time and quite a bit of resources on this van. And because of other things that are going on in the world, and including resources, I probably won't get on the road until the very end of the year, get my house sold and move into this thing. I'm really looking forward to it. I really enjoy all of the responses that y'all give me on Facebook, and I invite you to go to vanlifefishing.com. You can follow me there. You can sign up to my blog. I won't blow your inbox up with emails. In fact, I've never sent one yet, but I will eventually. There'll be emails going out of there since we build up a list. But spread the word. Have people try to follow me. I need to build up followers, because ultimately in the fishing game, in the sponsorship part of that, that's very much what sponsors look for, is how many people are following you. So I appreciate all of that. I hope you enjoyed this short video, and y'all keep cruising, keep casting.